Did you know Hitler's favorite general was forced to kill himself because he told the truth? During World War II, one man became a legend across Europe. His name was Erwin Rommel. Soldiers feared him. Enemies respected him. The world knew him as the Desert Fox. He was brave, brilliant, and always led from the front. While other generals stayed safely behind maps and desks, Rommel drove straight into battle with his men. Bullets flew around him. Tanks exploded beside him. Yet he kept moving forward. His soldiers loved him because they believed he would never ask them to do something he would not do himself. At first, Rommel admired Adolf Hitler. Like many Germans after World War I, he believed Hitler would restore Germany's pride. Germany was poor, humiliated, and broken after the Treaty of Versailles. Hitler promised strength. He promised glory, and millions believed him. Rommel believed him too. Hitler noticed Rommel early. He saw a fearless officer with natural talent. During the invasion of France in 1940, Rommel's tank division moved so fast that people called it the Ghost Division. He crushed enemy lines and reached the English Channel in record time. Hitler was impressed. Soon, Rommel became one of Germany's biggest war heroes. Then came North Africa. In 1941, Hitler sent Rommel to fight the British in the desert. It was there that his legend truly began. The desert was brutal. Endless heat, endless sand, endless death. But Rommel moved like lightning. He attacked without warning. He confused his enemies. British commanders never knew where he would strike next. Again and again, he defeated larger armies with fewer men and fewer supplies. Even his enemies admired him. British soldiers called him the Desert Fox because he was clever, fast, and impossible to predict. Back home in Germany, Nazi propaganda turned Rommel into a superstar. Newspapers praised him every day. Posters showed his face across the country. Mothers told their children about the heroic field marshal fighting in Africa. Hitler loved the attention Rommel brought to Germany. But while the world saw glory, Rommel was beginning to see the truth. Deep down, he knew Germany could not win forever. In North Africa, his soldiers were starving for fuel, food, and ammunition. He begged Berlin for help. Sometimes he received nothing. Meanwhile, the British grew stronger with American support. Rommel watched his men die because supplies never arrived. He became angry, frustrated, betrayed. One day, he met Hitler and spoke honestly. He told him North Africa could not be saved. Germany needed to retreat. Hitler exploded with rage. He mocked Rommel. He insulted him. But Rommel refused to lie. For the first time, cracks appeared in their relationship. Rommel was no longer just a loyal soldier. He had started questioning the man he once admired. Then came an even darker realization. As the war continued, rumors spread about concentration camps, executions, and mass murder in Eastern Europe. Rommel slowly learned the horrifying truth about Hitler's regime. Millions of innocent people were being murdered. Jews, prisoners, civilians, entire families erased from existence. Rommel had fought for Germany, but now he realized Hitler was leading the country into evil and destruction. Everything changed inside him. By 1944, Germany was collapsing. The Soviet Union was crushing German forces in the east. Britain and America prepared for invasion in the west. Hitler ordered Rommel to defend the coast of France against the coming Allied attack. Rommel inspected Hitler's so-called Atlantic Wall and was shocked. Much of it barely existed. Weak defenses, poor preparation, empty promises. Hitler believed the Allies could be stopped easily. Rommel knew better. He understood modern warfare. He had seen American and British power in Africa. He knew Germany was outmatched, so he worked day and night to strengthen the coast. Millions of mines were buried, beach obstacles were built, bunkers rose along the shoreline. Rommel barely slept. He traveled constantly, inspecting defenses himself. He knew one terrifying truth. If the Allies landed successfully, the war would be over. Then came June 6th, 1944, D-Day, the largest invasion in human history. Thousands of Allied ships crossed the English Channel. Thousands of planes filled the sky. Over 150,000 Allied soldiers stormed the beaches of Normandy. And at the worst possible moment, Rommel was not there. He had returned home briefly to visit his wife on her birthday and speak with Hitler about ending the war. Early that morning, the phone rang. The invasion had begun. Rommel immediately understood the disaster. He rushed back to France, but deep inside, he already knew the truth. Germany could not stop this invasion. The Allies had too much power, too many planes, too many tanks, too many ships. Rommel drove across ruined roads while Allied aircraft attacked German reinforcements from above. Everywhere he looked, chaos spread. German defenses crumbled under endless bombardment. Still, Hitler refused reality. He believed victory was possible. Rommel no longer did. After seeing Normandy with his own eyes, Rommel made a decision that would seal his fate. He confronted Hitler directly. He told him the war was lost. Germany needed peace immediately. Millions more would die if the fighting continued. Hitler refused. He would rather destroy Germany than surrender. Rommel finally understood the horrifying truth. Hitler no longer cared about Germany. He cared only about himself. Around this time, a secret resistance movement inside Germany began planning to kill Hitler. Some officers believed assassination was the only way to save the country. Rommel was connected to several men involved in the plot. But Rommel did not support murder. He believed Hitler should be arrested and removed legally. Still, Hitler's spies noticed Rommel's growing opposition. They knew the once loyal field marshal had turned against the regime. Then fate intervened. On July 17th, 1944, while driving through France, Rommel's car was attacked by British fighter planes. Machine gun bullets ripped into the vehicle. The car crashed violently. Rommel suffered terrible injuries. His skull was fractured. His face was badly damaged. Blood covered him. Doctors thought he would die. But he survived. The crash ended his military career forever. Just 3 days later came the famous July 20th plot. German officers planted a bomb at Hitler's headquarters. The explosion nearly killed him, but Hitler survived. Furious, he unleashed brutal revenge across Germany. Thousands were arrested. Thousands were executed. Anyone suspected of disloyalty became a target. Rommel's name appeared during interrogations. Some conspirators mentioned him. That was enough. Hitler decided the Desert Fox had to die. But Hitler feared public reaction. Rommel was too famous, too loved. Executing him publicly could damage morale. So Hitler offered a cruel choice. On October 14th, 1944, 2 Nazi generals arrived at Rommel's home. They carried a vial of cyanide poison. They told him he had 2 options. First option, take the poison quietly. His family would be spared. He would receive a state funeral. Germany would celebrate him as a hero. Second option, face a public trial for treason. His family would suffer. He would almost certainly be tortured and executed. Rommel understood immediately. There was no real choice. He walked inside and spoke to his wife, Lucy, and his young son, Manfred. Calmly, He told them the truth. In 15 minutes, I will be dead. He explained that this was the price for telling Hitler the truth. Imagine that moment. One of Germany's greatest generals, one of the most famous men in Europe, forced to choose suicide to protect his family. Rommel put on his coat and cap one final time. Then he walked outside and entered the car with the Nazi generals. They drove a short distance away from the house. The car stopped. Rommel took the cyanide capsule. Within seconds, the poison destroyed him from the inside. He gasped for air. His body collapsed. Minutes later, the desert fox was dead. Hitler announced that Rommel had died from war injuries. Germany held a massive state funeral in his honor. Crowds mourned him as a national hero, never knowing the truth. Nazi propaganda hid everything. But behind closed doors, Hitler had eliminated one of the only generals brave enough to speak honestly. Months later, Germany collapsed exactly as Rommel predicted. Berlin fell. Millions more died. Hitler committed suicide in his bunker while Soviet forces surrounded the city. Everything Rommel warned about became reality. In the end, the Desert Fox was not killed by enemy tanks or Allied bombs. He was destroyed by the very regime he once served. His crime was simple. He told the truth when nobody else dared to.